Hello. Today I'd like to talk to you about essential skills and maybe give you some background and also talk about what are the 9 essential skills and give you some examples. So we use essential skills all the time. We use them at work, at home, and at school. For example, when I go shopping, I have 2 teenage boys and I buy a lot of cheese. So I have to be careful when I'm shopping that I get good value for my money and I compare how much is 100 grams of this cheese with that cheese. And when I'm doing that kind of thing, I'm using essential skills. I'll tell you more as we go along. People use essential skills in their jobs all the time. These are not technical skills. Sometimes we get mixed up with technical and essential skills. But in the photos here, I've got 2 men writing at work. And they're writing for different reasons. One's taking notes while he's at a meeting, and the other one is noting something down, maybe some thoughts. He's all by himself thinking on the job. So writing is one of the essential skills, and I'll tell you more about that. So essential skills help people do their job. We sometimes say that technical skills get you the job, but essential skills help you keep it and get a promotion. So, essential skills prepare people for learning, for working, and for living. And these essential skills are transferable. So what you've learned at school, you can transfer some of those skills to your own everyday life, and you can also use them at work. So we transfer these skills, and you'll catch on more as I go along in this presentation. There are 9 essential skills, and what I'd like to do is tell you about each one and find out how it's used in the workplace. So, the first one I want to talk about are thinking skills. And there's a group of skills that we put under thinking, and we've divided it into 6, and I'll list them. Problem solving, decision making, critical thinking, job task planning and organization, significant use of memory, and finding information. So all of those 6 help us in our everyday life, in our work life, and our academic life. So if you think back on today, what kind of thinking have you done? You've probably used all 6 of these skills. And sometimes you're using them in combination. Like when you're making a decision, what time should I leave the house today? You're also problem solving and using critical thinking skills. So we use them, and organization. I mean, just using a whole load of skills, just making that decision, well, when will I leave the house today? So that's thinking skills. And it's important that you develop your thinking skills and that you are able to reflect upon them, about what kind of skills you have. The second one I want to talk about are reading skills. So we call it reading text. And it includes all kinds of things that we read: notes, letters, journals, memos, specifications, regulations. There are all kinds of things that we read. And some reading is more important than others. For example, in this picture, we've got someone who is having to sign their name because they've read something and said, yes, this is accurate information. So maybe it's an incident report. Something happened at work and a paragraph has been written about what happened, and you need to sign off on it. So it's important that you're able to read for detail, read critically, and read with understanding. Here's another example of some reading that happens in the workplace. This is an MSDS, a material safety data sheet. And it's important in many workplaces that we handle materials properly and safely so that our customers, clients, and our coworkers and ourselves can be safe at work. And so just knowing your way around an MSDS, what's in the different sections, what kind of information it holds, is really important for safety. The third one I'd like to talk about today is computer use. This is an essential skill that is becoming more and more important all over the workplace. The mechanic who works on my car uses many computers. I know when I was a little girl, computers didn't belong in cars. Nobody had a computer in their car, but now cars contain lots of computers. So it doesn't matter what kind of occupation you are in, it's very likely that you will be using computers. And I've got some photos there of different people using computers in their work. And computer use also means that you're able to adapt to new programs or new computer, new software, that kind of thing, and that you're able to use computers in in certain tasks, and you use them with competence and are not afraid of them. So there's a whole list there of things that are included with computer use. You need a computer. Are computers at the gas station with your friends, a digital camera, and I guess that guy's using an iPhone or iPad. I'm not sure what it is, but some kind of computer. And I'm not up on all of them. Maybe you aren't either. Numeracy is next, and this one includes a lot of things. It's sometimes pronounced numeracy as well, but I'll just say numeracy today. So calculations, money math, budgeting, accounting, those are all part of numeracy. So is scheduling, measurement and calculation, data analysis, and numerical estimation. Some people are better than others at numeracy, well, in all the essential skills, but this is also a very important one in the workplace and in life. Oral communication is the fifth one that I'd like to talk about. And this is the use of speech to give and exchange thoughts and information by workers in an occupational group. And a really important thing about oral communication is also listening, being able to listen. What is the person saying? Not only listen to the words, but listen to the message behind the words. And this takes a lot of practice, and some people, just like all the other skills, some people are better at it than others. But oral communication is one that is vital for getting along in the workplace. Document use is next. And a document, we define it as something where information is displayed with words, numbers, icons, and other visual characteristics. And here's a really good example. This is a bus schedule from Winnipeg. So if you're from Winnipeg, this will look familiar to you. Just by the spatial arrangement of the way things are, it shows like when is the bus coming, what streets are intersecting, what other buses go by, that stop. Like there's loads of information in that document. Here's some other examples of documents: maps, blueprints, lists, schematics, drawings, all kinds of documents. I collect documents, and here's one in my collection, and this is sidewalk markings. So you can see the city workers have gone and put pink arrows and white arrows. And there's some kind of meaning there. I can't read it. I'm not skilled in that. I don't have a background in sidewalk fixing. But this is a message. This is a document for someone else to come and fix this sidewalk, and it tells them which way to go, what to do. So that's a document. The next one I'd like to talk about is working with others. And this includes sharing information, organizing, working cooperatively, participating in group projects and on meetings. It includes getting along with people. Maybe you don't like them, but you get along with them because you work with them. And I've got some photos there of people working together, just showing some examples of how we work together. The second last one is continuous learning. We all need to know how we learn, and that's a really important part of continuous learning. Knowing your own learning style, knowing how to access information, where to find out things like how to find a book in the library, how to Google something, all of that is part of continuous learning. And this category includes learning for hobbies like knitting and cooking, learning life skills that maybe could save your life like swimming, formal learning like in a library or at school. It includes practical learning like learning how to drive, work learning, like how to set up a crane. I certainly don't know that. That's something I could learn. And how to give a presentation. So there's a wide range of things that are part of continuous learning, but it's an important part of being in the workplace, being flexible, progressing, improving yourself all the time. The last one I want to talk about is writing. So this includes filling in forms, writing memos, notes, short letters, paragraphs, all of that. And sometimes we use a computer to write, sometimes we do it the old-fashioned way with a pen and paper. That's all part of writing, and writing is a really important way of communicating and documenting things in the workplace. So I just, in conclusion, would like to say that you need to remember this concept of transfer, how you have a skill in one area and you can transfer it to another. And that's a really important part of essential skills, transferring. Thank you for listening, and I wish you all the best with your portfolio building.